declared dead, then caught on camera days later. Death is supposed to be absolute. Once a life ends, the world marks it with a certificate, an obituary, a memorial. But what happens when death is declared and yet life continues? Tonight, we explore one of the most unnerving modern mysteries, a person declared dead, then caught on camera days later. And the deeper you look, the more terrifying it becomes. The announcement. It began like any tragedy. A family received a call no one wants to hear. The victim has passed. The news spread quickly. Obituaries were posted online. Flowers and candles arrived at the doorstep. Friends and colleagues mourned publicly. Authorities confirmed death. A certificate was signed. Yet even in this seemingly straightforward tragedy, cracks began to appear. Some neighbors reported strange behavior in the days leading up to the death. Small incidents, easily ignored, a shadow in a window, a distant scream, the sense that something was off. But grief has a way of cloaking reality. The first doubts. Days after the declaration, inconsistencies began to emerge. Phone calls went unanswered. Messages seemed delayed. Friends noticed social media activity, posts marked as active despite the official death. Neighbors whispered about fleeting glimpses, shadows moving in the distance, a door opening where no one should have been. But most people dismissed these signs. Most assumed grief had blurred their perception. But surveillance cameras, doorbells, security systems, even public street cameras silently recorded everything. The camera revealed. It was the security footage that broke the illusion. A figure appeared. At first, no one believed it. The timing made no sense. The person had already been declared dead. But the gait, the posture, the clothing, unmistakable. It was them, alive, moving, and in plain sight. Every frame of footage told the same terrifying story. Death had been assumed wrongly. Panic and denial. The family refused to accept the footage at first. This must be a glitch, they said. Authorities re-examined the timestamps, camera angles, and metadata. Technical experts confirmed it was real. The declared dead person had been moving through the world days after death was announced. Panic set in. Whispers turned to fear. But fear is slow. Reality is often slower to process. Investigators enter. Detectives began piecing together the timeline. Phone logs, credit card activity, bank withdrawals, eyewitness reports. Every lead revealed something disturbing. Someone had deliberately manipulated the narrative. Had the victim faked their death? Or had someone else orchestrated a lie so perfectly convincing that even the family believed it? Every question opened doors to more chilling unknowns. The spread of fear. As news of the footage spread, the public became obsessed. Online forums dissected every frame. People debated, is this real? Is this supernatural? Or is someone hiding a crime? Some theorized a hoax. Some whispered ghosts. But beneath speculation, one thing became terrifyingly clear. Someone, whether victim or criminal, had exploited human assumptions, and the cameras had revealed it. Digital footprints. The investigation turned digital. Phones, computers, social media accounts, GPS systems. Every click, every login, every message became a clue. It was through these digital trails that authorities began to map the movements of someone who should not have existed. Each trace revealed control, deliberate action, and chilling calculation. Days officially marked as death suddenly became a story of movement, interaction, and careful deception. Psychological analysis. Psychologists were consulted. Could a person truly live as dead in the eyes of society? Some people have faked death to escape danger. Others are victims of manipulation or coercion. Then there are cases where perpetrators exploit society's assumptions to conceal a crime. The line between victim and orchestrator becomes blurred. Could the declared dead person have been hiding, or had someone kept them alive or staged their death for sinister purposes? The mind struggles to process such possibilities. Expanding the evidence. More cameras revealed the impossible. Security feeds from businesses, streets, and neighbors all confirmed the same timeline. The person moved deliberately, interacted with the environment, avoided detection. Days that should have been spent in mourning instead revealed a secret life in plain sight. Each frame increased the tension. Reality had been manipulated, and the evidence was undeniable. Public panic. The story spread like wildfire. News outlets reported the footage. Social media exploded with speculation. Some called it a miracle, others called it a crime. But beneath the public fascination lay a deeper terror. How could society be so blind? How could someone vanish and reappear and almost no one notice? The breakthrough. The final piece of the puzzle came from a single, overlooked camera. A doorbell camera recording the front steps of a nearby building caught the declared dead person entering a building, alive, active, deliberate. No one could have expected it. No one had planned for the possibility. And suddenly, the truth was undeniable. Death had been assumed, but life persisted. Aftermath. Authorities finally located the individual. In some cases, they had been hiding voluntarily. In others, they had been forced. The consequences were massive. Families were shocked. Communities were horrified. Every frame of footage remained, a chilling reminder that death, once assumed, is not always absolute. Lessons from the impossible. This case forces society to question assumptions. We trust official records. We believe what cameras capture. We assume death is absolute. But when those assumptions fail, reality itself becomes terrifying. Life can continue in plain sight, unseen, unheard, and unaccountable. Deception can exist beyond imagination, and fear lives in the gaps between what we think we know and what is actually true. Final reflection. Death is meant to end a story, but sometimes it does not. Cameras may record what we cannot comprehend. Someone declared dead can continue moving through the world, unseen, unheard, and unaccountable. And in those moments, the boundary between life, death, and deception becomes dangerously thin. This is the dark truth. Reality is not always what it seems.